Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I talk about the 4 methods of note-taking, which are the Cornell method, mind mapping, outlining, and charting method. Here you can see me just taking out my stuff. In this video, I'll be taking notes using the 4 note-taking methods on Biology Chapter 3, Movement of Substances Across Plasma Membrane for Animal Cells. The first method is the Cornell method. The Cornell method is usually used for note-taking in the class when the teacher is teaching. So how the Cornell method works is that you have to draw a margin through the page and a horizontal line before a class or a lecture. During the class or the lecture, you can jot down the notes on the right-hand side of the page. After the class, go back and write the main idea or the title on the left-hand side of the page and the summary of the lecture on the bottom of the page. Here you can see me writing title, main ideas, and summaries just to show you guys. So here you can see me writing the title down, which is the movement of substances across plasma membrane. I wrote PM in short form for plasma membrane to save time. And then I'm writing down the main idea, which is hypotonic solution. And I drew a cell as well to demonstrate the burst cell, and I'm writing down the points on the right hand side of the page. Usually the Cornell method is used for when you are taking notes during a class when the teacher is teaching and you have to take notes within the shortest time possible. But I think that it is also useful when you are taking notes at home from the book, because when you review, you will see that the main idea is on one page and then the main points are on the other side of the page. So the notes can be reviewed easily. I'm just doing the same for isotonic and hypertonic solution. And you can see that I made a cloud, a red cloud on the word hemolysis because it is a keyword and I like to mark the keywords. And then for the summary, I'm just writing hypertonic, isotonic, and the keywords at the side of the page. The advantages of using the Cornell method is that notes can be reviewed in a shorter amount of time, and it also allows you to pull out major ideas and concepts easily. The second method is the mind mapping method. I'm sure you guys know how to use the mind mapping method already. I think it's the most commonly used one, but I'll just go through it briefly. To use the mind map method, write the main idea in the middle of the page and slowly branch off with subtopics, interesting facts, and important definitions. You can make the mind map colorful to improve your memory. So I'm just doing the same thing here, taking notes based on the movement of substances across plasma membrane for animal cell. It's just the same thing except that I branch off the ideas from the main point in the middle and I put a star beside the main concepts as well, the keywords such as the hemolysis and crenation. The advantages of using the mind maps is that it is useful for visual learners and it helps you to remember the relationships between each topics easily. You can also make your mind maps colorful to improve memory. The third method here is the outlining method. The outlining method is actually a very simple and quick method. Each section starts with the heading of the main topic. Each subtopic and supporting fact is written underneath the proper heading in the form of bullet points. It's just a very simple method, but it allows you to pull out information and identify the important informations easily. So you can see me just taking notes as I did with Cornell method and the mind mapping method. I just underline the key points, the titles, and I'm picking out information as usual. You can see me putting a star next to the word hemolysis. I just want to point out that it's super important to take note of keywords like hemolysis and crenation because those are the words which will get you the points in exams. So definitely when you come across those words, take note of them by putting stars next to them or just highlighting them, so that when you review your notes, those words will stand out and you can identify them easily. There are 3 advantages when it comes to using outlining methods. Number 1, it allows notes to be neatly organized. Number 2, it is easy to see the relationship between the topics and the subtopics. Number 3, it is easy to turn points into study questions. For example, if the question asks, what happens to a cell when it is placed in a hypertonic solution? And you have the answers already. Number 1, water enters the cell, and so on. The 4th method here is the charting method. The charting method is basically just the same as like making tables. First, you can separate your paper into several columns by categories. This could include important dates, peoples, or events. Write down specific information below the correct column. I'm using the same example again and separating it into 3 columns. We have hypertonic, isotonic, and hypertonic solution, and I'm writing all the key points beneath the titles. The advantages of using the charting method is that it allows you to get an overview of the class in your own words, and it is helpful for visual learners to memorize the content. That's it for this video. You can comment down below which method you find to be most helpful. Personally, I like using the Cornell method. I hope this video was useful in some ways, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching, and bye.